Hi there Aquarius, it's Viv from Wisdom Released, and this is your bi-weekly reading from June the 15th to the 30th 2018. The deck I'm using is Los Scarabello, that one, which is a new deck to me, and I'm using a new layout which is in the shape of a beetle, and is really good because it's a symbol of life, of hope and transformation. And the spread really helps you clarify direction and gain insight into your situation, and decide on a course of action if action is appropriate. So this is, I have shuffled already. This is for Aquarius for the 15th to the 30th of June. I'll shuffle a little bit more and cut the deck. So messages, please, that are in our highest and best interests for Aquarius, 15th to the 30th of June. Helps them connect with their inner wisdom and gives the guidance they're looking for. Thank you. So pull 9 cards. 3, 4, 5, 9. Okay, and what's at the bottom of the deck is the Fool card. So the underlying factor, Aquarius, is taking a risk, is stepping out, maybe, being possibly a little bit unprepared. But it's taking a risk. Okay, so the first card is all about what you want, and it would appear that what you want is a wish to come true. This card is really about openness, you know, so perhaps you're looking for somebody to really open up to you emotionally, and perhaps that would be a risk for them to do. Perhaps it's a risk for you to do, to open up emotionally. I mean, the woman in the picture here is clearly, she's not got much on in the way of clothes, if anything at all. She's vulnerable. There are, you know, she's watering the rose here, so there's love that she's hoping to blossom. It's not necessarily, doesn't necessarily have to be a love relationship. It could be between two people within a family. It could be to do with friends, somebody in your community, people in your community. It could be to do with you know, colleagues at work. You're hoping for openness. This is what you want, and you know, you're hoping for a successful mix of things. You know, this is water and wine. I don't think it's blood. It could be, I suppose, but I think it's wine. And you know, the bird in the tree here is about hope, and you know, the tree, parts of the tree are on fire, although it's more like candles. They're lit like candles, and so this is you know, it's passion. So you're hoping for openness here, a wish coming true. Excuse me. What you need, I think, is to take a little bit more of a relaxed approach, and to trust in the abundance and the growth and the possibility that there is already surrounding you. You know, there's lots of, you know, ripe grapes here that are ripe for picking and about to fall off the tree. There's lots of the queen here is surrounded by roses, and she's surrounded by love. she's holding on fairly loosely, I think, to the Pentacle. To me, this represents sort of like her own sense of self-worth and value, her self-respect and self-confidence, her well-being. So certainly what you don't need to do is to let go of that and lose sight of that and control. Sorry, bear with me a second. Come on. Can you settle down? Good boy. Yeah, I think what you need is not to lose sight of what's important to you. You know, the Queen is there sort of gazing off into the distance. So don't allow yourself to be distracted. You want openness, you want to take a risk, or somebody to take a risk. But you know your value and worth, and that you're just as important, and your needs and desires are just as important as somebody else. The head of the situation, so what you need to know, this might be information that you're overlooking, is the Five of Wands, and the Five of Wands is all about petty conflict, really. So perhaps this is actually a need to overlook petty conflicts, or what you might be overlooking is how petty the conflicts actually are, and you don't really need to get involved with them at all. You know, there's finger pointing going on here, and there's defensiveness here, and there's obviously hot tempers and hot-headedness. You don't really need to get involved. You know, if you're looking for openness and to keep a sense of controlled calm, then you don't need to get involved in this. This is what you might be overlooking. What works against you? This is the Ten of Swords, and this is a turning away from past hurts. Swords represents thinking, but it could be things that other people have said to you that maybe have caused these petty conflicts, and you may have been hurt or stung by what other people have said. By them, you may have felt that they've not been particularly honest or open with you. But there are two swords that are in the upright position here, so this is truth and honesty. So what's working against you is turning your back on all of this, including the truth and honesty of the situation. And this is a 10, so there's finality here. So this is all over and done with, so there's no need to rake over or drag up past resentments. What works for you, what's supporting you and in your favour, is this return to reconciliation. Again, this is like an openness, isn't it? So this is very much a reflection of the Star card at the beginning there, with the woman is undressed. She's she's naked. She's vulnerable. She's being very open. She's not hiding anything. She's displaying very much her confidence, and that's really attractive. It's really, look, she's holding an apple there. So that's, if you take a leadership role, and you set the pace, Aquarius, you're the one that's being open and honest first of all, then people will come round to being open and honest with you, and to be conciliatory, to reunite with you, reconcile with you, to get on the same page as you. Maybe there's something in your past, a similar situation that you can draw on, that can inspire you to help bring this about. So reconciliation and a better flow, a return to flow, a return to harmony, and emotions, all positive emotions flowing in the right direction is possible here. This is what works for you. This is available to you. What you should abandon is extremism, really. The Knight of Pentacles can be very, very slow, or he can be really wild and impulsive. So he's a man of extremes. He doesn't look to be particularly well prepared for riding this bull. And while the bull is plodding at the moment, once it sees a red flag, it could be off. Anything that disturbs its equilibrium, and the knight will be off. He can be thrown off, or he can be taken somewhere that he really, really doesn't want to go. So it's card of extreme. So this is what you should abandon: is either doing nothing or being impulsive, really, really impulsive. So extremes are not going to work in your favour. And what you should embrace is the wheel. So this is the universe's help. These are things that are happening behind the scenes that you can't necessarily see, things that are out of your control. But as the wheel turns, they go in your favour, they don't go in your favour, they go in your favour, they don't go in your favour. But it's always coming around. It's swings and roundabouts, and it's yin and yang, and the mix of good and bad all the time. This is what makes life interesting. But we don't really know. Well, we get a feeling when things are going in our favour, and things are, it's like the stars are aligning. The stars are aligning, and our wishes are coming true. And sometimes it feels like we're wading through mud. That we're making treacle-like progress, and everything's really, really slow, and it feels like people are against us, and we hold on to these hurts and resentments, and they actually hinder our progress. But this is all part and parcel of the learning process, and this is what you should embrace. You should embrace the up and downiness of it all, the roller coasteriness, if there is such a word, of it all. It's exactly the same for all of us, but things are coming together and coming about in a way that are not necessarily in your control. And things are happening for your benefit. So the aggressor's path, which is the best possible next action to take if you take matters into your own hands, is not listening to other people's opinions and following your own path. It's like the figure in the middle here is literally being his own star. He's in the middle of the star. He's standing up for himself. Others have turned their back, but he might be covering his ears and not listening to what they have to say. And I think he has his eyes closed, and he's not really looking. Doesn't want to look at the fact that backs have been turned. But he is being an individual, and he is standing up for himself and doing what he thinks is right. So this is the action that you could take: is taking that risk, is being open, is taking the leadership role, is recognizing your value and worth and turning your back on old hurts and doing the right thing. If you leave it up to the universe, if you don't take any action, then the universe has got some abundance in store anyway. A combination of you and the universe will bring about great abundance. This is, the Empress here is pregnant. She's surrounded by abundance. There's lots of growth. There are lots of bees and flowers. There are birds. There's there's a tree that's burning. There's passion here. The universe is an abundant place, and it's always providing us with opportunities to create and develop in different ways. It's always at work. The wheel is always turning. So even if there isn't, if the opportunity for reconciliation, to get back on the same page, to overcome these petty conflicts, if the opportunity for more openness between you and the other people in this situation doesn't arise, it will come around again. There's the wheel is always turning. There's always opportunity. The universe is always creating opportunity. So Aquarius, I hope you've found that of use, and that it's resonated with you, and that it's helped you connect with your own wisdom in whatever situation it is that you're facing at the moment. I will be back at the beginning of July with another 2-week read for you. So until then, thanks very much for watching, and take care.